I stumbled across this video of Laura Ingram, and a few years back, she was under fire for making a comment that LeBron should shut up and dribble, which is, of course, I agree with. And as a matter of fact, a couple months ago, I've made a video on it. I've been making videos about these guys and how they just a whole bunch of hot air and virtual signaling. I just made a video about. As a matter of fact, I made a video about LeBron. I had never seen this. As a matter of fact, I'm just seeing this. But I made a video probably a couple months back about how LeBron needs to shut up and dribble. Um, and so Laura Ingram made this video about how LeBron needs to shut up and dribble. And of course, we all know that LeBron is idolizing the black community for what reason I don't know. Besides the fact that he plays basketball. Um, and anytime somebody white say something about somebody black, if it's not praised, it's automatically deemed racism. Even if it's true, it's automatically deemed racism. But my thing is, like I always tell people, um, and that's why people always tell me, because by me being a black conservative, I hold blacks accountable. And some people will tell me, well, why you going against your own people and this, that, and the third? I say, well, it's not going against my own people. It's trying to help my people. It's trying to help my people understand that they got to hold themselves accountable because nobody else can. That's one of the main things that's wrong with the black community today. Nobody holds them accountable. Instead, everybody, the black leaders, the black preachers, the Democratic Party, the athletes, everybody's saying what other people is doing to us, but nobody is holding us accountable. And so therefore we cannot fix ourselves. It's just like if you have a child, right? And the teacher call you and tell you, hey, your child's acting bad in class. Instead of you disciplining your child, you get mad at the teacher. Well, why you bother him? Let him do what he's doing. Or your children in the hood, in the neighborhood doing something wrong, and the neighbors tell you something, and you don't tell your child. Now you talk about what the neighbor doing wrong to your child. And as in what the words say, the neighbor said you doing this, and they need to stay at their business. But you never holding your child accountable, and that's how it is with the black community. Our leaders, our celebrities, these people who we idolize, which is one of the main issues in the black community. We idolize everybody but the Most High. We idolize rappers, we idolize celebrities, we idolize members of the Democratic Party, we idolize black leaders, we idolize black preachers. That's one of our first problems and curses in the black community, right? But that's another video for another day. But what I'm saying in this video is nobody holds blacks accountable. And the ones of people who's supposed to hold us accountable, which is our black preachers, which is our black leaders, which is LeBron James of the world, they're telling us what the other people are doing, not telling us what we need to do to fix ourselves to move forward, right? And so you got LeBron and Kevin Durant. I'm surprised because I never really caught Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant, somebody who I like, and I used to like LeBron too, but once I started seeing how he was just opening his mouth about political issues and issues that he shouldn't be speaking on, because you got to understand these people are, LeBron got hundreds of millions of people who follow him on his platform, and all these athletes do it. You got to be on. Let's be honest about it. Dealing with these rappers, dealing with these actors, dealing with these athletes. Half of these people are brain dead. They have no thinking of their own. They just extremely. A lot of these athletes, if they wasn't athletic as they was, they probably wouldn't even graduate high school. And when you actually understand people and you look past all the glitz, the glamour, and what people have and how talented they are, to actually look at them as a person, which I have been doing over the last few years since I became conservative. You look and see how dumb they really are, like how dumb LeBron is. Now you got a few guys like Jason Whitlock, Charles Barkley, who actually have a brain, or even people like Stephen A. Smith, who I don't always agree with. At least he's open-minded to the point where he's willing to have a conversation. But these people like LeBron James, they just need to shut up and dribble, because why? That's where you're a pro at. That's where you're good at. You are the greatest, in my opinion, ever touched the basketball. So focus on that. And there's other things you did that I heard was positive, like charity. But you never hear LeBron on TV saying, look, stop black on black crime. You never heard him say that, and you never will. Right? Because he know if he say that, the backlash he going to get from his own people. You never heard LeBron go on TV and say, look, man, black people is only accounting for 13% of the population in the United States, but yet they account for 50% of crime. The black women is leading abortion. Stop killing y'all babies. Stop committing crime. A whole generation of us has been killed in the womb. Stop having abortion. 70 some percent of all our children are being raised in single parent households. You don't hear LeBron saying nothing about that. You don't hear LeBron speaking on the stuff that's really hurting the black community. You don't hear him speaking about that because he know that he gonna get backlash from that. But by him saying that, and as powerful as his voice is, it will land on some good soil, right? It would land on good soil, which will produce a good crop. But he's not gonna do that because he don't care. He just about virtual signaling. And so I'm gonna let this video play, and throughout the video, I'm gonna pause it and I'm gonna chime in.
Oh, the left and the media attack dogs can dish it out, can't they? But they sure can't take it. Last night we played clips of NBA superstars LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and an ESPN host named Kerry Champion trashing Trump.
The number one job in America, the point of person, is someone who doesn't understand the people and really don't give a about the people. I feel like our team as a country is not ran by a great coach. It's not even a surprise when he says something. It's not even a surprise. It's like laughable. It's like
it's laughable.
It's laughable and it's scary.
But it's also scary because I shouldn't be numb to your racist comments.
Right.
I shouldn't be numb to your behavior.
Okay, brain dead Kerry Champion, brain dead LeBron, and brain dead Kevin Durant. I used to like you, Kevin Durant, all these years. 2023, I'm no longer a fan of you. Let's talk about with this racist, what you say, whatever you said, racist bad, whatever you said, racist bad leader for America. Let's see what he did. We're not gonna talk about all the things he did for the country, but we're gonna just talk about what he did for the black community. Let's just talk about that because y'all love to idolize Obama. Y'all wouldn't get in the car and say that about Obama. And matter of fact, if a white person said any celebrity said anything about Obama, y'all try to cancel him, right? But now y'all sitting in the car rolling with this brain dead black woman, and y'all talking about somebody who did more for the black community than any other president ever have. And let's read some of these things down. And you know what? Hey, I'm not lying about nothing I'm about to say. If you think I am, go Google it. Go do some research. But like I said, I'm making this video so black people can understand that the people who they idolize, and the people who they idolize, and the people who they think got their best interest, and the people who they think, hey, if they said I'm gonna do it, it's misleading you. And this is why right now the country is in a bad situation. Nobody black should have voted for Biden after all Trump did. Everybody black for sure should have voted for Trump. But I'm gonna read some of the things that this racist president Donald Trump did. Achieved the lowest black unemployment rate in history. The black youth unemployment rate reached an all-time high. Achieved the largest job gains for African Americans on record. Black Americans saw the largest increase in home ownership. The poverty rate for African Americans reached the lowest level ever recorded. Donald Trump lifted 6.6 million people out of poverty, the largest poverty reduction of any American president. He gave long-term funding to HBCUs, while every other president before him made those black colleges beg for money. Donald Trump even moved their own office in the White House, so future administrations have to continue to fund those colleges. But we know that Biden came straight in office and cut the $45 billion that Trump had gave black colleges to $2 billion, and I think he cut that. But yet he's sending billions to Ukraine. But that's another subject for another day. He invested over $300 billion. He got over $300 billion invested in the black community from capital. In other words, he got companies to invest in opportunity zones, which is most of the time in the hood, to create more jobs in those communities, to build their companies in those communities, which gave black people jobs, which is fed into the lowest unemployment rate for blacks ever. He released over 7,500 prisoners, 91% black, including Miss Alice Johnson, the mother, the grandmother who was rotting in prison, and nobody would help her, not even the beloved Obama. And hold on, I'm not finished. I don't want to stop there. These are the things he had planned, Mr. Stupid Durant, Mr. Dumb LeBron, Mr. Brain Dead Kerry Champion. These were the things he had planned if he would have been reelected, and hopefully, he still have these things in place for us come 2024 when he's up for reelection. He came up with a thing called the Platinum Plan. This was a plan that was strictly going to be in place for the black community. Remember I told you how he invested over $300 billion in black communities? Well, he was going to increase that by $500 billion. He guaranteed 3 million new jobs for the black community. He guaranteed help in creating 500,000 new black businesses. He made a promise that he was gonna make sure the urban neighborhood was the safest he was gonna make black communities more safe with the highest police standards available. He was going to commit on working on the Second Step Act. The First Step Act is what I mentioned earlier, where he released over 7,500 prisoners, 91% black, including the grandmother and mother, Alice Johnson, who was rotting in prison and nobody helped her, not even the beloved Obama. I want to repeat that. He was going to advance home ownership opportunities and enhance financial literacy in the black community. More education opportunities that black Americans can afford and choose. Bring better and tailored health care to address historic disparities. An immigration policy that protect black jobs. Access to better education and job training opportunities, and onshore manufacturing to advance jobs and develop opportunities for black-owned businesses. Don't believe none of this stuff I'm saying. Go Google everything I'm saying. Go Google the Platinum Plan, which was what he had just for the black community if he'd have been reelected. And there's the things that they don't talk about. So these people who is idolized by the black community, because we know that people that's 40 and under, I always say this, people that's 40 and under, they idolize rappers, celebrities, athletes. 40 and over, they idolize preachers, they idolize the black leaders, the fake black leaders like Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, people like that, and the Democratic leaders, right? And all these people that I just said is the people who gives the blacks their opinion and tells them who to vote for. So with all the stuff that I told you just now that Trump did and planned to do was way more than what the Biden-Kamala administration promised to do, because they didn't promise the black people anything. You mean to tell me that? But and when they was asked, Kamala said, we not focused on one community, we focused on America, right? But Trump had all this promise, not to mention all we had did. But black people don't think for themselves. Not all, but most black people do not think for themselves. They only listen to what the people that I just told you. If they 40 and over, they listen to whatever the preachers say. They listen to whatever the black leaders say, the fake black leaders might I add, and the Democratic Party. 40 and under, all they listen to is what celebrities say, rappers say, and the celebrities, actors, right? And so these people who are brain dead, bought and paid for, was told to say, hey man, vote for Biden, instead of telling you all the stuff that Trump did and all the stuff he was planning to do, and more black people would have voted for Trump and the country wouldn't be in an economic hurricane that is in now, right? But most blacks don't think for themselves, and the people that's gonna run up on this channel, and that's my main focus, especially the black youth, because like I said, most blacks that's 30 and older is pretty much over with for them, but not all. It's still some hope when they hear people like me and other black conservative voices. Start thinking for yourself. Start doing your own research. Stop voting for people because they skin color. Stop voting for people because they party, which is, you never should vote for the Democratic Party, because it's never going to be nothing that's going to benefit the black community. The Democratic Party never was for the black community. in history. The Democratic Party, the party who founded the KKK, founded the Jim Crow laws, voted against the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment, which was, slavery and black people being able to vote. The Democrats have never been on the side of black America. I just don't know how they got trapped. Well, I know they got trapped because the Civil Rights Act that was passed in 1964, but that was something that was a big mistake. And like I said, I go off into why the Civil Rights Movement was a big mistake. But the Civil Rights Act was the only thing that the Democratic Party ever did for blacks, and that's it. And blacks just been stuck vote for them blindly and not demanding anything. Blacks are the only people that still 90% of the time vote for the Democratic Party. Everybody else then left. Everybody else then left. Right? And, because everybody else, you got to earn their vote. Blacks, we just give our vote away. And who you see on social media today talking about the price of gas, the price of egg, the price of this, the price of that, it's black people. And they so brainwashed, dumbed down, and demoralized, not all but most, that they don't understand this is what you voted for. Right? So I'm going to let Laura finish, and I'll chime in throughout the program.
I called those remarks barely intelligible, not to mention ungrammatical. And last night, which is difficult to dispute, and the left erupted. Slate's piece was titled, "In Insulting LeBron James, Laura Ingraham proves James' point about racism." Oh, okay. It accused me of, quote, "something vile and racist." Almost all the stories accused me of dog whistle commentary, and many claim my line that LeBron should shut up and dribble was racist. What? I wrote a book 15 years ago, fairly well known, New York Times bestseller, called Shut Up and Sing. And I've been using variants of that title to call out political celebrities for 15 years without regard for skin color, where you came from, what you do. By the way, including on this show. Without a single fact on your side, well, Jamie, all I can say is you're far from perfect. Oh, remember that movie with John Travolta? Now, I might not look to her for political analysis, but if I'm looking for a great pair of leg warmers, I'm calling her first. Hamill has been hammering President Trump on Twitter for months and now feels qualified to weigh in on net neutrality because of his long, distinguished career on screen in films such as Star Wars and Star Wars sequels. Kimmel's a millionaire who doesn't need CHIP or any other program to provide health care for his beautiful child. Shut up and sing, or shut up and act, or shut up and make us laugh every now and then.
As you can see, but I know most black people don't do research. Like I said, if you go back into history, this woman have called out every big mouth person who think because they're a celebrity, they got the right to speak about politics what they do not know nothing about. They completely ignorant to it, which means misinformed. And so, they not misinformed, they just bought and paid for. And so, as you can see, she's been talked about. She's been talked about anybody who speak about politics and don't know what they talking about. She knows what she's talking about. She's a political analyst, and they don't. She called them out, but when she do it to the great one, the King James, is racist. See what I'm saying? This is the stuff I'm talking about.
So I'm an equal opportunity critic when it comes to left-wing celebrities, sounding off on topics of which they know precious little. And as you can see, race has nothing to do with it. Joining me now to discuss are Nigel Rennis, only known me for 20-something years, national spokesperson for the Congress of Racial Equality, and Burgess Owens, a retired NFL star. Good to have you both on. All right, Burgess, you can take it away. These guys are big guys. They're incredibly talented on the court. But boy, they can dish it out to Trump, use the F-bomb, call him, all sorts of names, say he doesn't care about people, all this stuff. But when I call them out for their insipid commentary, they immediately throw down the race card.
Well, Laura, this is the new norm for the left. When white conservative calls a black liberal clueless, they're called racist. If white liberals call a black conservative Uncle Tom, they're called enlightened. This is what these people do. They're bullies. They don't want to talk about topic.
I want to stop right there to add this too. That's another thing about black people and how they always talk about how they for they people and they this black, they pro-black. They not pro-black to black conservatives. Anybody who holding them accountable and telling them, look, it's not their fault, it's your fault. Right? It's not their fault, it's your fault. You know, you got white people today who not racist. They not racist. They not racist. But what they see from blacks on the news constantly, how they kill each other, what they rap about, when they're around black, they're afraid. And you may say, well, that's not right for them to judge people. Well, guess what? That's the world we live in. Jesus is the only person who, well, listen, Jesus, I'm not going to put Jesus in it, but I'm going to say, you will be judged, bro. People going 9 times out of 10, people gonna judge you from your outer appearance. People gonna judge you from your skin color. Just like I've heard white people say. I mean, I've heard black people say. I've heard black people say. I remember one time. I'm not even gonna put. I'm gonna use myself, and I'm not even racist. I'm not even racist. I never forget. This is just a quick story. One time I was in church, right? Of course, I was going to a black church at that time, and during the church, like just during the church service going on, everything, these 2 white people just walked in. It was a white man, a white woman. They just walked in the church. Like, they just walked in, like, didn't go walk in and sit in the back. They walked in and they was walking around. And I'm going to be honest, I wasn't afraid. I was kind of nervous. And like I say, I'm far from racist. Ain't a racist bone in my body. I love everybody. I judge people on the content of their character, not the color of their skin. But just for me knowing that sometimes something that the situation with Dylan Roof had just happened, like, it's just crazy stuff, and I was kind of nervous. Doesn't mean I was racist. So a lot of times, people I went to places with women who had a lot of children, and when we walk into the place like a Mr. Gaddis or a pizza place, the white people leave. I don't feel like they racist. They just understand that a lot of time, black children are out of control. They go to these places, they pick at the white kids, take the white kid stuff that I did when I was a kid. And so I understand. But what black people do? Run to social media and talk about how people, no, they not racist. They scared. They're afraid. Because what they protrude. But going back to what I was saying to piggyback with this brother here saying, is black people play this pro-black stuff and they all about black people. Not when you calling them out. Not when you holding them accountable. Your own people. Holding them accountable, tell them, look, man, stop voting Democrat just to do it. Stop killing each other. Stop having babies out of wedlock. Stop raising children out of the father. Stop aborting your babies. Oh, you're a coon. You this, you that. You see what I'm saying? That's how it is. They only your people is if you agree with them. Not if you telling them, hey, if you're a black person and you telling the other black people to be accountable, you telling them the truth. Truth and accountability is taboo in the black community. And that's why we in the situation that we in. And as long as we is in that situation where we in denial, can't deal with the truth, and will not be accountable for our own action and why our own communities and lives in this way, instead of blaming the white man and racism and slavery and systematic racism and all that, we not going to progress. I'm going to let them finish.
And I'll say this, the problem we're having now is we have too many, quote, leaders that are going from poor to wealthy, going to becoming elitists and skipping through what's called middle class. Middle class is where you find empathy, service, and understanding and relationship, and we're missing that. So all of a sudden these elitists are becoming our leaders as if they know everything, and they don't. So we have to put that in perspective and realize that these are athletes, these are entertainers, and look at them as entertainers and nothing more. They're not experts in anything else but dribbling and singing and running a football. That's it.
Niger, this was LeBron James it was this epic 2016 championship parade. Cleveland finally wins the championship. It was a big deal. He was having fun. There was a lot of families there. Let's watch.
Reason I believe like I'm gonna wake up and it's gonna be like game 4 all over again. I'm like, we down 2-1 still. LeBron James makes 6 straight finals appearances. Well, James Jones made 6 straight as well. You had to be our anchor in the interior. And you looked at me like, man, you don't know me, shut the up. I love all of y'all, and let's get ready for next year.
Wow. Well, maybe he was having fun, but seriously. I guess, is that what?
Addicted to the F-bomb, huh?
Well, there's a couple F-bombs. There's an S-bomb, and, he was having fun, but, come on. I mean, it's just, he acts like a clown. I mean, he's done a lot of good stuff, like a lot of good charity work. But if you're going to talk like that, you're going to act like that, and you talk like that about the President of the United States, I'll tell you something, if you're a white NBA player and you said that stuff that he said about Obama, you'd never play again.
Oh, no question about it. I think he called the President of the United States a bum,
Yeah.
you know, and used the F-bomb in describing him in that ESPN
Barack Obama divided this country like nobody else. Black Lives Matter, a group that's anti-nuclear family, anti-God, which they had this on their website. They had this stuff I'm saying on their website. Eventually they took it down. They hate God. They hate the nuclear family. They're a Marxist organization who was shouting, "What do we want? Dead cops. When do we want it now? Pigs in a blanket. Fry them like bacon." And Barack Obama brought them to the White House. Barack Obama brought him to the White House after that. Barack Obama, pastor of 20 years, the pastor who married him and his wife, Jeremiah Wright Jr., is an avid racism who preaches black liberation theology. And he said that he looked at this man as an uncle. I could go on and on. Barack Obama hate white people, but the whole time he was raised by a white woman. Barack Obama is a white dude. Barack Obama is a white dude, but he got with radical Michelle, and she turned him against his own people. Because guess what? Barack Obama's daddy is African, his mom is white. His daddy was not in his life, and we all know whoever raised you, that's the culture you're going to be a part of. I don't care if you red, black, blue, or green. If you raised by a black mother, you're going to have black culture. Because wherever your mama go, cookouts and certain things that go on in the black community, while you being raised by a black mother, you're going to be a part of that. And if you're a white woman and you raise a black child, does not matter if he black, blue, or green. He's going to have the culture that you have. He being around your family, being around your cook, whatever y'all do in the white community, right? And so Barack Obama was raised by a white woman. So Barack Obama is a white boy who married radical liberal Michelle, who is, we all know, racist. But nobody never said that. But let's say an actor or athlete or any kind of celebrity would have called them out and said, well, hey, why you bringing black BLM to the White House when they don't like cops? They saying kill cops and they hate God and they hate the nuclear family. Why you bringing them? Why was your preacher that you say you look at him like an Uncle Barack Obama and he's never racist? What's up with that? They'd have canceled him and got all bent out of shape. But it was okay because Barack did it.
Podcast as well.
Kevin Durant said the comment, "Shut up and dribble" is racist.
Oh my goodness!
Today,
well,
very sensitive.
Well, here it is, the tail of the tape. We've got Kevin Durant, about 7'1" or something like that, and we've got
6'9",
and we got Laura Ingraham here at 5'6", 5'7", something like that. 5'7" with heels, maybe.
Thank you.
And and he's running away from you. I mean, that, for guys that winning NBA championships and at that kind of stature, it's a little.
Well, why do you throw down the race card? Look, this is my point, Burgess. If you want to be a political pundit, you're coming on my court, okay? Let's do it. Let's have a real conversation about black unemployment. Let's talk about violence in the inner city. Let's talk about all the issues like school choice, and let's do it. Let's have. Don't think you're not going to get credit.
They don't want to, Laura. They will not come on there, Laura. None of these liberal big mouth. You seen Tucker Carlson call Joy Reid out several times to come on the show. They not coming, bro. They not coming, bro. They not gonna come because they gonna get made to look like who they is, a clown. Because Fox News is a fact pro-truth. They are racist. These MSNBC, CNN, they racist. They liberal. They far left political radical outlets, and so they produce propaganda and the race card. That's all they know. They gonna come to Fox with Tucker, Laura, Son, Hannity, and guess what? It's gonna be facts with evidence over what you saying, and then guess what? You're gonna look stupid. So they not gonna come on your show, Laura. Not gonna happen.
If all you do is a drive-by hit on Trump and say he's no leader, he's
call him a bum.
If you're going to do it, then do it. Let's have a real conversation.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're not going to have a real conversation, Laura, because it takes thinking. It takes really trying to figure out the answers. I tell you, for instance, I might not agree with everything with Charles Barkley. I'm not sure. I have a lot of respect for that guy, though, because he's shown me that he cares more about his race and politics, more about his race and being popular. And these other guys, these elitists, these athletes, they have to deal with the real world. And I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest. I came out of NFL after 10 years a flaming liberal. The antidote to that was taking my cocky liberal attitude, starting a business, failing, getting on my knees a bunch of times, realize I don't want to be liberal, and I definitely don't want to be cocky anymore. That's what these guys end up having to do. And meanwhile, we need to find free enterprises. Let's make our heroes entrepreneurs. Those that get out and take a risk, serve, and find an answer to our solutions. Not these athletes who know how to run and throw a football and dribble a basketball. That has no real value to the real world and to our black community. So let's find the real deal, true entrepreneurs.
By the way, LeBron, I guess you call him King James, like the Bible? Okay. He put out a full screen response, I guess kind of a response, which is kind of cute. It says, "Smiling through it all, can't believe this my life."
All right.
I guess, who needs verbs?
There's a serious point here, though. I mean, these men are black men at a time that black men are going through, it seems like, an economic revival during the Trump years.
This is great.
With jobs and economic opportunity. The absolute worst thing for Kevin Durant to do is play a multi-million-dollar victim to poor Laura, to big bad Laura Ingraham. You are scary, Laura.
Yeah,
but you're not that scary.
Well, listen to some of the responses on Twitter today. This is always fun. Ellen Pompeo, she's on I guess she was on Grey's Anatomy. Is that still on the air? I never watched that show. Sorry. "Someone tell this bee to meet me outside."
Wow.
"I'm so not in the mood for playing nice or polite this week." Apparently she...
Ellen Pompeo is just a liberal, far left, radical liberal white who has white gift and who have bought into the lie that, oh, black are so oppressed and police playing target practice with them and they dealing with slavery. Oh, poor blacks. Ellen Pompeo is a joke. She's a far left liberal white who Malcolm X warned the blacks about liberal whites 60 years ago, 70 years ago. The white liberal is very dangerous because they try to overcompensate to hide who they really are, in my opinion. I feel like they really don't like black people, so they try to overcompensate to cover that. These are the people who was at BLM rallies getting knocked out trying to be with the blacks when the blacks don't like you. The blacks don't like you. Not all, but most blacks hate white people. And you white liberals is only okay with them when y'all agree. The first time y'all disagree, y'all gonna see. But that's all Ellen Pompeo is. She's part of the problem because white liberals are very dangerous because the difference between them and the liberal black, the liberal white actually have connections and power. And and they feel so sorry for the white, for the black man. Some of them, like I say, that's just my opinion that they be trying to. I feel like they be trying too hard to cover up how they really feel, but they the ones who done bought into the lie of, oh yeah, the poor blacks. Come on, man.
It was nice and polite other weeks. There was so many of them you can't read, but they're unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yes.
Can I say this real quick? One of the things that I can guarantee, these people have no idea about what's happening in our communities today. They have no idea that the unemployment rate is going down, that people are getting jobs and education is being changed. They have no idea because they're listening to these other Marxists and socialists that do not want our race to understand the truth. So we have to realize that the truth is coming through by people living their lives and it's been succeeding. And I'm looking forward to seeing more of that.
Great point. Remember, we had that Kehinde Wiley who did the portrait of Obama holding up the African-American depictions holding up white women decapitated and said it's sort of a play on the kill whitey thing. No criticism there, though. Guys, great to have you on. Thanks so much. And,
thank you.
And we'll continue this, I'm sure, next week. I don't think it's going to die down.
And that's the end of this. And as he finished the show, he right. They not gonna speak on the stuff that did happen when President Trump was in office, because let's be honest about it. And I hate to say this, but I gotta say this: most black people, not all, but most black people today, they have a socialist, communist mindset. Get a job, work for somebody, get a job, be employed. They don't have a ruling class mindset, which is another issue in the black community. And a lot of these people who they go get all these degrees and go get all this education just to work for somebody, and that's just the way the black people are. And most educated people, I know a lot of them, they educated, they got degrees up the yang yang. Some of them a little successful, if you want to say, and they just as dumb as a bag of rocks. And actually, I know some who was saying this. I remember this, and I didn't really understand. You know, then I wasn't. I didn't need to watch Laura as much. But I remember I knew people who were saying that, yeah, Laura Ingraham saying this racist and saying this and that. And I'm not really, I didn't really know who Laura Ingraham was at that time, so I couldn't really put up a fight, you know what I'm saying? But, man, this woman call out anybody who's a celebrity and trying to call themselves being a political pundit and don't know what the hell they talking about. But when she said about the great one, who the black community idolized, always a problem. Shut up, LeBron. Shut up and dribble. That's what you good at, bro. Stay out of politics and stay out of social issues because you misleading our brain dead, dumbed down people. Not all of them, but most of them. That's who black people are today. And it's not that way for no reason. It's not that reason for. It's their fault. It's not no such thing no more where you can say, well, it's the '60s, it's the '70s, and they just don't. No, this is the age of information. You can go on YouTube. It's all over social media. The people who telling the truth is out there, but black people just don't want to hear them because why? They speaking truth and they telling black people, look, you got to be accountable for what's going on in your life, and you got to be accountable for what's going on in your community, because everybody black adds into the black foolishness. So if you're a black person who on Instagram twerking out of cars and doing all that as a woman, on Instagram taking guns and smoking and doing anything negative as a black man, you reflect the black community, whether you know it or not. Oh, I'm just doing what I do. No, you reflecting the black community and the people that's in the world who see all this stuff and y'all steady killing each other. When they come in y'all presence, that's why they scared of y'all. It's not so much that they racist. It's that what they see y'all doing, they acting off of that. They have to judge because of that. And just like for example, give you an example. You could have never in your life had been attacked by a bear. You could have never in your life knew nobody that got attacked by a bear. But you if you go camping or if you stay in one of these areas like up north where they have bears, grizzly bears just come out. When you see a grizzly bear, you're gonna automatically be scared. Why is that? Not because you ever had a bad experience with a grizzly bear, but because you know the damage a grizzly bear can do if he get to you, all by what? From what you've seen and heard, not from what you experienced. And this is how the white people treat the black. They might have never had a bad experience with black, but what they see and hear is enough to scare them. And you can change that, black man. You can change that by the way you act. You can change that, black woman, by the way you act. Wherever you go, change that narrative. I'm not saying kiss no butt or bootlick, but I'm saying change that narrative. Conduct yourself like a sophisticated. If you're not sophisticated, everybody not sophisticated, but just handle yourself like a man. Handle yourself like a woman. Pick up your pen, my brothers. Dress more ladylike, my black women, and stop doing these certain type of things. Stop having children with men you know don't want to stay there, because now you're gonna be forced to raise these children, and they gonna be out of control because children need a father to make them respect, to create structure, to create discipline. Mothers cannot do that. Not saying that mothers can't raise children to be something in life, but I'm saying they cannot teach children discipline. This is why you have these athletes today, these rappers who, even though they rich and quote unquote made it according to the world standard, they still can't control their emotions. Because why? They never had a father in their life to teach them how to manage their emotions, to teach them structure, to teach them discipline. Right? So understand that everywhere you go and everything you do on the job site, you are creating a narrative for whatever your skin color is. And so I'm in this video on that note. Thank y'all for watching. God bless.